It's been a day. Um, it's actually been a whole week. So you're probably going to hear some oddball things, knocking on doors, dog barking, partner snoring. We've had an interesting couple of days. We have a leak that we do have a gentleman coming out to fix. Um, we can't get the normal leaks inside the house where it's easy to fix them. No, we get them outside where they have to deal with sleet and snow, and instead of, you know, am I in the mic? Yeah. How did I never notice this picture? This is cool. This is what we're gonna do today. Um, but yeah, it's been a lot. I tried to get on Wednesday last week, but I had a ton of baking to do and not nearly enough time to do it. So I do apologize for that. Thursday, I was doing the Thanksgiving thing with my family, and then I worked my weekend. So it's been a couple of days, and I do apologize. Actually, we almost hit a full week of no me. It happens. Sometimes you just can't make it in. I am apologetic. And of course, I'm gonna have to miss again tomorrow because I'm actually going with my mom to see Wicked for Good. We actually went and saw the first one together, so it's kind of a tradition we do. I think I got that too sharp for what I want to do, but that's okay. We don't want this really dark because it looks like she's holding almost a bubble rather than a full balloon. Um, but I do want this. And I guess I'm going to throw it at you. Oh, I did realize I forgot one thing. Let's get some extra light so we can actually see what I'm doing. Hello, Muhammad. How are we doing today? There we go. This is definitely an awesome drawing. It is done by Selena Fenich. She is a very, very accomplished artist. And I happen to be lucky enough to have two of her coloring books. I don't know. I think not, since she drew this long before Wednesday was uh, actually a show. Let me see. This is... Let me see if I have a page from when this was released. This was done in 2016, so I'm going to guess that it's probably not her, since she was probably a baby back then, if she was born. If you haven't ever heard of this lady, go look her up. She is an incredible artist. As I said, her name's Selena Fenich. And she does coloring books, which I absolutely love, but she's also an established artist for like fantasy novels, doing the illustrations and covers. She has a lot of just straight up her own work, and obviously coloring books. Incredible talent. I wish I could claim this kind of talent. I just color it. But let's see. I love the attitude in her face. It's just fantastic. And I don't know how I've colored so many pages in this book and never noticed this picture. I have no excuse. I've just somehow or other always gone past it. I am looking specifically for one of my kind of shimmery pencils for her dress. I think I'm going to go a dark blue. But we're not going to go super thick and heavy with the pencil. We're just going to give it color without going hard and overdoing the color. I really do wish I had noticed sooner though. Now I am going to go a little harder on the lace because I feel like that'll be a little bit more color. There we go. So I don't know if I'm going to hit any of my regular people because I am more than an hour later than I normally would go live. But if you are new to my stuff, welcome. I'm always happy to hear new voices and see new faces, and I kind of got stuck on the lace for a second there. I had to finish it. But the amount of personality she drew into this young lady is just incredible. And I kind of feel like she might be a fairy or something because so many of the others are. But I could be wrong. I just like the attitude. She has a fantastic little, like, mess with me kind of face. Which I am a fan. I'm trying to go around the hair without actually coloring the hair. I think she needs dark hair though. So it won't be too bad if I do hit it. I really, really do not know how I missed this drawing in this book. I have no excuses, just there are a lot of really, really good pieces of art in this one single book, so that will be my reasoning and my excuse. I think we're going to give just a hint of that same blue in the stockings, because we can. The shoes we're going to leave alone. They don't really need added color. Let's see. I need a really, like, fantastic dark brown. And I may go back over it lightly with a black to make it just that little bit darker. But I want a little bit of texture to it, so let's see. Are you black or brown? You are brown. That works. So they're not my sketches. Like I said, this is a drawing, or this is a coloring book by this artist, Selena Fenich. But I have actually colored a whole lot of pages in the book. Like, for example, that one. And some of these, some people might remember, because some of them I have actually colored in lives. Like I did this one in a live. I've done quite a few of hers. I do not do the drawings. I just color them. So I'm really kind of wondering, because I don't remember a couple of these pages. Like that one I feel like I would have probably done already. but she's an incredible artist and she does a lot of incredible work. So if I missed a page or two like this, that's actually kind of a bonus for me because it's more that I get to really enjoy coloring, not once, but twice, because what she does in her books is this. She actually does all of her art in these books twice so that you can actually color them two different ways if you so choose. Like, I'm trying to find that one again. But she really is an incredible artist. And I love working through her books. I'm trying to see if I can find this one that I'm working on again. How I missed this picture twice, I don't know, but I did. So, yep. There it is again, and she calls this one Warm My Heart, is the name of the picture. So I will be coloring it again at some point. Maybe not today. Well, definitely not today. I don't do the same picture twice in the same day. That would be kind of goofy. But the other thing I like with her books is they are pre-shaded. They're grayscale books, so, or at least this one is. So you don't have to worry about trying to create the shading for it. It's just color the picture and the shading happens for you. I may do blonde on the other. It's a little too late now. I've already started with the darker brown. I may go over it with a gold just for giggles. But I've done quite a few blondes and quite a few redheads. I very rarely decide to make them dark brown, but I feel like it fits this one. So that's the direction I'm going. Actually, I think I might do the gold thing over top just because it'll just add more depth and a little hint of shimmer. It's not going to change it much because it's already a very dark color, but it'll give some highlights and lowlights. I am in the States. I am right in the middle of the United States, actually. So, and how about you? I may have to sharpen that before I'm done. This is one that's not going to show much for you guys, but trust me, it does make the difference. We're going to give her some color. Not a lot, not crazy, but just enough. So you are definitely not dealing with the mess outside that I am dealing with. Right now we have sleet and snow. It is not fun. But thankfully I don't have to go anywhere today, so we're just going very light there. And very, I need to make, nope, I got a point. Just a very small hint to kind of give her a little bit of added color. I am going to pick the book up for just a second because I can't tell if her eyes are closed. Nope, her eyes are open. Okay. Doesn't need to be a super large amount of color, but just enough. So she's got, now we've got her done. This part is really, really easy because this is a winter scene. So that comes pre-colored. So now we do the fun and exciting part of giving all of these trees some color. And this is where I say I like the pre-shaded so much, is you can kind of see where it actually takes the color and makes it fit. Definitely makes it easier to do. It's always a fun and relaxing thing to be able to get on here for a few minutes and just color. I wish I could make the drawings that I color, but that is one talent I do not possess. So I own it. I'm happy with the amount of talent that I do have, which I feel is a decent amount. Which, if you go through my channel, you'll see I do a lot of repairs, restorations, repurposing. Apparently I'm very good at alliteration as well. But I focus mainly on yard art, things like that. Sometimes I do work on furniture. My last thing that I worked on was actually cartoon furniture, which is one of my favorite things to do periodically. I don't want to do it all the time, but once in a while, taking a solid piece of furniture and making it look like a drawing of a piece of furniture is just, it's fun. And it's different, and it's not something that everybody does. So, hello, how we doing today? We are coloring and chit-chatting here. Enjoying the chance to just relax a little bit. It has been a stressful couple of days. So, and just relaxing and doing something like this helps. And as you can see, I may not be able to draw, but I can trace very, very well. I have been known to take a coloring sheet or a page of art or things like that, and I'll do graphite all on the back, and you can trace it out for painting projects and things like that. I don't do that with art like this that obviously belongs to someone, but I have done it with some generic AI art and things like that. Probably my best of those, if you were to go through my videos, is the series with the cutting board that I did. But I have a piece that I did that way actually hanging in my kitchen as well. I know this isn't the most exciting part, just sitting here doing all of the trees in the background. But I'm kind of hemming and hawing over what the shade of tan I want to use on these guys, because I have a bizarre amount of them. And getting these trees done does give me time to chew on that. And you may hear my partner in the background. He has earned his nap. He has been out in the backyard, well, front yard, trying to get this leak under control before the ground freezes completely. So, we don't silence anybody in this house, even if we're live. It's just no fun. And especially considering the fact that he has to go back out there here in a few minutes. When the gentleman that he's working with gets back, you will probably hear my dog bark. Don't let that freak you out. He's very loud, but very sweet. Right now he's snoozing too, so. Almost gotten all of these background trees under control. There'd be a spot of green right there. A little spot here and there. And there's a trick with that that I like to use as well. There we go. Went a little harder than I meant to right there. I think my hand is getting tired of doing trees. It's not cooperating super well. And that happens. There we go. But at least for today, I did want to at least make sure I popped on for a few minutes because I didn't make it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So, yeah. It was time to get my tail back on here. So I've been kind of busy, kind of hiding out a little bit. I do work retail, and this was one of the busiest weekends of the year. We don't want a lot of pops of green, just a little here and there. And some of them are going to be a little bit more with the reds and the browns. And I am using the reds in here more than another shade of brown to kind of hint at the deceased leaves, just because more brown is not going to help things. I do have little bits. And it happens sometimes where you get just little bits of green coming out of the ground. Just kind of gives it a little bit more life. Now, let's see. I think we're going to use this guy for my deer over here. We don't want them to blend completely into the browns of the woods. And we're going to assume these are white-tailed deer. So they have that nice light back end where their tail comes up really, really bright white. I have some of those that like to run through my yard. Now, I want to add one final thing. And that is just a hint of blue to the sky behind the trees. Doesn't need to be dark. Doesn't need to be overly consistent. Ooh, I hate when I've got a burr on my pencil though. Just makes a wrong kind of sound on the paper when you have that one little rough spot in on your pencil. I like to call this just giving a suggestion of color as opposed to like going in hard. I'm kind of imagining those winter days where the sun or the sky is this kind of hazy blue that isn't quite as bright as it is on summer days. Which I am missing those summer days right about now because I like the warm. I am not built for the cold. I know people both ways, but I like my warm weather. I moved away from the north to try and get away from the cold weather, but I need my seasons, so I couldn't go somewhere where it's always warm. I think spring has got to be my absolute favorite. Everything's growing and getting brighter and prettier, and there are so many shades of green. But I think I am going to call it a day on this one. I feel like if I keep messing with it, I'm going to make it like messy as opposed to just lightly colored, which I kind of like. I didn't quite hit my 30 minutes today, which is okay with me. I could sit here and just chatter for the next minute. I'm not going to do that. But I will be on, I don't know if I'll make it on tomorrow. I am going with my mom to see the new Wicked movie. But I will definitely be on Wednesday and Thursday, and very possibly Friday this week. So until then, I will talk to you guys next time.